Hello, everyone. I'm ZHAO Chuang. Today, let's draw the trunk of Acrocanthosaurus. In drawing the trunk of Acrocanthosaurus, we choose the part from the back of its neck to the front of its pelvis. When drawing, we must pay attention to the shape of the inside skeleton. We need to know its internal structure so that we can accurately draw its appearance. The inside of its neck was S-shaped, but we need to note that as it was wrapped by muscles, it looked straighter and thicker. Inside, it bent into an S shape like this. There was no obvious boundary between its back and the next part of its trunk. There were mainly two sets of muscles on its back. One went along the top of its ribs, and the other went gently, so we used gentle lines to draw it. Besides, there were many large scales on its trunk, so we can draw some big dots to show them. We can draw some small lines, which stand for shadows at the lower part of its trunk, to make it look three-dimensional. Now let's draw its trunk. Let's begin with its neck. The back of its neck protruded upward. The highest position is here. The length of its neck was about the same as that of its head. On both sides of its neck, there were thick and strong muscles. Downward, let's draw its throat, the end of which was connected to its shoulders. This set of muscles below the side of its neck was connected to the root of its shoulder blade. This is the shape of its shoulder blade. It slanted backward, looking like a rod over the two sides of its trunk. We can draw some traces of the skin at the end of its shoulder blades, and some folds to show the texture of its skin on both sides of its neck. Next, let's draw its trunk, and the outline of its ribs. First, let's draw along the dorsal side, and the top of its rib stops here. Its ribs covered a large area. In the place where the ribs ended was its ilium on the sides of its pelvis. Then we draw the front of its thigh. This is about the area below its ribs. Acrocanthosaurus had relatively long ribs. At the end of its ribs, let's draw some stripes following their growth direction to show the structure of its trunk. Then let's draw the tall neural spines of Acrocanthosaurus, its most famous feature. Its neural spines were much taller than ordinary dinosaurs. Although they were not as tall as the back sail of Spinosaurus, they were still very tall. A big difference between the neural spines of Acrocanthosaurus and those of Spinosaurus was the latter ones formed the back sail structure. But Acrocanthosaurus had a lot of muscles on both sides of its neural spines, making its trunk smooth and look like a hump. Let's draw some folds on the back of Acrocanthosaurus. After that, let's draw the lower part of its body. Let's first determine several points. One is the position of the roots of its arms, that is, its armpits. Another is its long pubis. This is about the length of its thighs. Let's draw its knees here. Downward was its shank bone. Then its pubis should be here, whose length surpasses that of its knees. This is the outline of its chest. Let's leave the space for its arms and connect backward to form its abdomen. On both sides of its trunk, let's draw some soft skins connecting to its thighs. Then, let's draw some texture on its belly. We can draw some shadows below the soft skin. After that, let's draw some big spots to show its large scales on both sides of its trunk. We can make these spots evenly distributed and arranged randomly. Then starting from its neck, let's draw some spines along its back. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the trunk of Acrocanthosaurus.